Hello everyone and welcome to NFL Discussion. I'm your host and NFL enthusiast Doug. In today's episode I'm going to be discussing Sunday week 2 of the 2023 NFL season. And with that, I went ahead and picked 3 games out of the 12 from the afternoon to late afternoon slate. And we'll go ahead and dive into those 3 games, starting with the Green Bay Packers. So their defense is underachieving, but their offense is certainly promising. And if the Packers want to have a successful season, if they want to make a real run at the playoffs, then that defense has to catch up with that offense. So the Packers knew what the Falcons were going to do in doing this. They knew what they were going to do. That was run the ball, but they were unable to stop Atlanta on the ground, giving up 211 rushing yards and a touchdown. The Packers went into the fourth quarter with a 24-12 lead, but they allowed the Falcons to riddle off 13 unanswered points. Ritter would run for a touchdown, and Koo would make a pair of field goals. Even without Aaron Jones and Christian Watson, Green Bay scored 24 points, and Jordan Love had an efficient passing performance. However, the defense let the team down in this game. Jair Alexander and Quay Walker both dropped interceptions that could have potentially been game changers. Going too far. And the Falcons, Desmond Ritter, well, he's not putting up flashy numbers, but he doesn't need to. With the way he's been playing the past couple of weeks, he can certainly guide the Falcons to the playoffs. So the NFC South is still very much wide open. The wait to see which team emerges as a potential playoff contender is still on. Following the early games, the Falcons and the Buccaneers are the current front runners leading the division tied for the lead in the division, both teams 2-0. Although the former, being the Falcons, came back from a 12-point fourth quarter deficit against the Packers, thanks in part to Desmond Ritter. Ritter should have finished the game with 3 interceptions, but when the Falcons needed game-winning plays, he answered the call, scored on a 6-yard run early in the fourth, and then moving the ball downfield to put Koo in position to kick 2 field goals from within 39 yards. Ritter won 19-32, passing for 237 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. But he's a true gamer, and that won't show on the stat sheet. So yes, the numbers aren't flashy, but aside from some, bad throws, he's doing pretty well leading this Falcons offense. But I think it also helps when you have Bijan Robinson in the backfield. Baltimore Ravens. So injuries did not slow down the Ravens in this game, and so the injury bug bit the Ravens in week 1, and it would have been understandable if they came out flat against the Bengals. Instead, they scored a crucial victory over their divisional rival and started the season 2-0. Sometimes injuries can be too much to overcome. You look at who the Ravens already lost: J.K. Dobbins, Marcus Williams, Tyler Linderbaum, and Ronnie Stanley dinged up as well. But the Ravens didn't use any of those injuries as an excuse. On Sunday, they showed that they are a team that's evolving, with Jackson reaching what seems to be final boss status. The days of a pure ground and pound approach are gone. Jackson's pocket presence and creativity in the passing game are evident, with a 74.5 completion percentage. Even with the aforementioned injuries, the Ravens are showing that the NFC North is theirs. That they're the team to beat in the NFC North. So that's a good thing to see right there from the Ravens. Hopefully Odell Beckham, I know he went down with an injury as well. Hopefully that it doesn't sound like that's too serious either too. But even though he's injured, it still ain't slowing down. And the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow's health continues to be a concern, and with Joe Burrow aggravating his calf injury, don't expect a quick turnaround from the Bengals. Burrow and the Bengals offense have not looked right through 2 weeks of play, and they shouldn't be expected to fix things anytime soon. The quarterback isn't right. Soft tissue injuries have a habit of lingering, and Burrow, simply put, just needs rest. But by resting, he's missing valuable reps, just as he did in training camp. And because of those missing reps, he hasn't looked sharp physically or mentally, and he probably isn't going to be until he's fully healthy. The Bengals must find other ways to win instead of relying so heavily on their highly paid single caller. They have failed to do so in 2 weeks. That problem is compounded by the fact that Cincinnati's usually reliable defense hasn't performed well, particularly against the run, surrendering 384 rushing yards through 2 games. Expectations perhaps need to be tempered for this team because as it stands right now, the reigning AFC North champs do not look like they are going to be do not look like they are in position to win their division, let alone reach the Super Bowl. So I wouldn't run out the Bengals just yet, but with their quarterback less than 100%, it is worth monitoring to see what it is again, worth tempering expectations and kind of monitoring this team a little bit closely, rather than just kind of doing what everybody did with the Chiefs and Bills and just kind of shrug his shoulders and be like, they're fine. Which, Chiefs and Bills are fine. They bounce back in a big way. But the Bengals, though, maybe we shouldn't just say they are. Maybe we should just kind of wait to see what happens with them rather than just saying they are fine. Granted, not saying the season's over, but again, the health of Joe Burrow is something to monitor. Washington Commanders. So Eric Bieniemy's play calling acumen on full display, and I do wonder if the naysayers will continue to question said play calling acumen. As the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator between 2018 and 2022, Eric Bieniemy would stand in the shadow of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And, Reid and Mahomes deserve credit for the offensive success, yes, but Bieniemy should also get his credit as well. However, the skeptics would question his role in the operation. This season, Bieniemy isn't going to be working with Reid and Mahomes. Instead, he's going to be the lead. Instead, he's the lead play offensive coordinator under defensive-minded head coach Ron Rivera and second-year quarterback Sam Howell. On Sunday, Bieniemy's offense scored 35 points against a Broncos defense that I guess you could say that is considered respectable. In a game that the Commanders once trailed 21-3, Bieniemy didn't have Reid or Mahomes to help him bail out the team out of a 3-score deficit. But without question, he proved himself as a legitimate play caller, elevating the Commanders' offense, which has finished every season ranked 20th or worse in scoring in total yards since 2017. Also gotta give credit to the defense. They did lose out on that Hail Mary towards the end of the game, but they did come through on the 2-point conversion, even if there was some questions about pass interference or whatnot. So defense playing well, offense is performing pretty well as well too. So who knows what the Commanders could be, but they're off to a 2-0 start. Denver Broncos. So Sean Payton, his little rebuilding project, it's not going to be a quick one. Not a quick fix here. So the Broncos hired a Super Bowl winning head coach in Sean Payton, but they probably won't be having a quick turnaround that the Jaguars did last year when they brought in a Super Bowl winning head coach in Doug Peterson. The Broncos have lost their first 2 games by 3 points combined. They scored only 16 points against a poor Las Vegas Raiders defense in Week 1 and squandered an 18-point lead to Commanders on Sunday. Denver has already fallen short on both sides of the ball. Payton is going to need to preach the importance of patience with the hope that this team can put together a complete performance after a frustrating start to the season. I don't see a reason why they won't be able to turn things around. I thought Russell Wilson played relatively well in this game. The defense isn't bad either, but not an ideal start to the season when you have games that are close like that and you remain competitive and the game doesn't really get away from you, but you're not able to close out the deal. So hopefully they can figure that one out, but they're currently in the hole at 0-2. Right alongside the Chargers too. So Chiefs are probably running away with the division, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. So we'll just go ahead and wrap up this episode of NFL Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.